Today, we're gonna win. We're gonna fight.
There's a football coach, and then there's the football coach at Notre Dame, because nobody does it like Notre Dame.
Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly is brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Adidas, Gatorade, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Sprint, and Xerox. Inside Notre Dame Football is also sponsored by Bank of America, CBTS, Xfinity from Comcast, Mazda, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
Great win. There are no bad wins. That's a great win. You know where we are. You know what we need to do better. We need to do a better job of understanding what the opposition's going to bring. We've got to be better and more focused in our preparation. We've got to do a better job at that. But we're going to do it. We're going to do it with a win, a great win in triple overtime. A bunch of guys that just keep believing.
Irish head coach Brian Kelly after Notre Dame's nerve-wracking 29-26 triple overtime victory over Pittsburgh. Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan. The Irish rang up some pretty impressive stats against Pittsburgh, but left a lot of points on the field. In an effort to improve his team's offensive execution during the game, Coach Kelly changed quarterbacks twice.
Today, we left a lot of points out there offensively, where we needed to get more points. We made a change in quarterback. And then we brought this young guy back in off the bench. And he responded in kind. He's got a long way to go. He knows that. He's got to get better. But we're not standing here unless he has a really, really great second half of the game. Game ball ever goes.
Watching sports on Xfinity from Comcast is like having a front row seat to the biggest moments. With NFL Red Zone, ESPN Goal Line, and the Watch ESPN app, you're right there for all the action. This is the Xfinity Sports Experience. This is awesome. You won't get all this with satellite. Sign up for Xfinity TV and Internet. Just $79.99 a month for 6 months with the sports entertainment package included for 3 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Well, I have been quietly standing in the shade all of my days, and I've been trying to find
unlimited phone, unlimited data, unlimited life. The Galaxy S3 Unlimited Edition with truly unlimited data from Sprint.
Your first move doesn't happen on the field. It happens before your opponent even sees you. It can leave you hanging, steal your spark. Your first move can jeopardize everything you've worked for, or fuel it. Your first move can set up your success before you've even played the game.
Carb energy to fuel athletes. Gatorade Prime, part of the G Series.
So I'm really gonna need your company. Did I just change that site for you? Window or aisle?
Right.
Yes, sir? Excuse me. Can I help you?
Yeah, is this
the restroom? Oh, it's right behind you. If you just turn right there.
Virgin America knows it's better for Xerox to manage their call centers, so they can focus on making flying cool again. With Xerox, you're ready for real business.
When a team that is a heavy favorite does not come out and immediately put a lot of points on the board, it is almost a reflex reaction for fans and media to say that team came out flat. But when you look at the statistics Notre Dame generated in the first quarter, it's clear the Irish did not come out flat against Pittsburgh.
We did what we wanted to do. We just didn't put points on the board. And the game is the game. I mean, it's one of those things where if you really look at it, if we put points on the board, we're probably talking about a different game and how it unfolded. Yeah, no, I don't believe we were flat at all. I didn't think we played with some of the intensity and the the purposefulness on defense that we have in the past, but I thought we did in the second half.
On Pitt's one possession in the first quarter, Capron Lewis Moore comes up with a big sack. His numbers weren't huge, but it kind of looked to me like he played one of his better games.
He's been really consistent for us. The last month, his practice, his play has really risen. Cap has been doing it both in the locker room as a leader and a captain of our football team, and on the playing field, and that's really good to see.
You were down again at halftime, but in all honesty, that's not a unique situation anymore.
No, not anymore. We've been on this end of it before. You know, we talked about a couple things at halftime in terms of what we needed to do, and told them they got 30 minutes to affect the change, and it's up to them. They've got to make the change.
Early in the fourth quarter, it's 4th and 1. Everett Golson runs the ball, doesn't just get the first down, but gets 7. I thought that was indicative of where your team was at that time.
I agree. I think it was more than just eking out a first down, but actually picking up some more yardage. And I thought more than anything else, the opportunity for him to run kind of changed the way we called the game, because then we could take shots down the field, and if there was nothing there, we were running off man-to-man coverage, and he had a great opportunity. So running the ball with him was, I think, an important element in the game.
Talk about the touchdown pass to TJ.
It's a play that we've tried to work on and really keep our red zone package really thin, not put a lot on Everett. So it was a rollout screen play where we tried to pull the entire defense. It was blocked very well. Eifert had a great block. Chris Watt had a great block, and it was nice to see TJ kind of walk into the end zone.
Next Pitt possession, Tuitt and Lewis Moore get the sack, but great pressure from Shimbo.
Yeah, he gave us a great edge presence all game. He was very physical at the point of attack, and he was quick off the edge. Ishaq Williams was as well, and of course, Lewis got in there in the second half after battling an illness all week. He gave us some good push along with Tuitt.
The defense got the ball right back for the Irish after their first fourth quarter touchdown, and Everett Golson drove the Irish right down the field, but threw a costly end zone interception with 3:59 left in regulation, and the Irish still trailing by 8. However, no one on the Irish sidelines flinched.
We had 4 minutes, we had 3 timeouts. The only thing that we talked about is we're going to get this ball back. So let's go. We've already shown that we can drive this ball down the field. Let's be prepared. So we were already talking about the next series, and that's what I talked about after the game. I love the way our coaches coached in crunch time. Everybody was talking about the next play, the next series. Let's go get this thing tied up, and let's win it in overtime.
CBO, cheddar, bacon, onion.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
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 Say hello to McDonald's new CBO. Smooth cheddar, crispy bacon, grilled onions on the Angus 3rd Pounder or premium chicken sandwiches. CBO, the simple joy of tremendous.
Yeah.
Only Mazda is so obsessed with the future of driving that it's revolutionizing everything. SkyActiv technology makes vehicles stronger with 2 top safety picks and more fuel efficient, like the 40 mpg Highway Mazda 3 and the 2013 Mazda CX-5. No compromises. We build Mazdas. What do you drive? The Mazda 3 is now available with attractive lease and finance offers, but only for a limited time.
At Meijer, you can get any cut of certified Angus beef at prices you may expect to pay for most USDA choice. That means Carmen can take her weekday dinner menu up a notch and stay on budget. So burger night becomes certified Angus beef burger night. Fajita night becomes certified Angus beef fajita night. And because she can treat her family to the highest quality beef at low Meijer prices, leftover night becomes a thing of the past. Experience the savings, experience the difference. Meijer.
After Pittsburgh picked off that Everett Golson pass in the end zone with just under 4 minutes remaining, the Notre Dame defense responded as needed with a 3-and-out, giving the ball back to the Irish with 3:03 left.
We were able to manage the timeout situation there, which gave us 2 timeouts and the football back. So we felt very comfortable that we could get down the field with plenty of time.
You've talked a lot about Everett's ability to extend plays, and he certainly did that on the long pass to DeVaris Daniels.
You know, we had what we thought was a pretty easy progression for him. He didn't like what it looked like, and he just tried to stay alive. And then it's scramble drill, you know, which we try to work on each week, where the deepest player heads for the goalposts.
Theo Riddick gets a lot of snaps, and he showed one of the reasons why on the touchdown.
There's his wide receiver background. If he's just playing running back the last 3 years, he probably doesn't sense to get open in those situations because, you know, he's just focused on running back. But being a wide receiver, too, for a couple years, I think he's got that savvy that he can find a way to get open.
The percentage of two-point conversions that are successful is somewhere between 42 and 50%. It's not a gimme. That was a critical play.
Oh no, I agree with those numbers. I think we've got to track somewhere in that mid-range of about 46%. So you got to have a good play, and you got to have a lot of options to it. Again, Everett Golson found a way to get it in the end zone.
On to overtime. Your defense holds Pitt to field goal attempts on all 3 possessions.
When it's time to step up big, all year they have carried this football team, and you know, regardless of how they played in the first half, their play in the second half was dominating defense in the second half. And I think it got to the point where, you know, they really were not confident that they were going to be able to set their feet and throw the football. And I think that that's what our defense does. It just wears you down.
And of course, Pittsburgh didn't back down. Second overtime, looks like you're about to score, and they got a pretty good piece of Sierra, and he couldn't hold on to the ball.
Yeah, I mean, ball security there. You know, Sierra knows what he's supposed to do with the football. Just an unfortunate thing, but something that we were able to overcome.
The scoring possession in the third overtime, the key plays in your mind in that possession.
The throw to Riddick, you know, where Everett did a nice job of going through his progression. He had an inside-out vertical progression where he was looking down the field for a score. They did a great job of doubling Eifert, which left Theo Riddick one-on-one with the middle linebacker. He did a great job of shaking him down, got the football, and that really put us in a position to score.
There is your final score. It's Notre Dame's 5th victory this season, decided by 7 points or less. The Irish are now 8-1 in their last 9 games decided by a TD or less. There is a look at your final stats provided by UND.com. The 104 plays ties a Notre Dame record, while the 522 yards of total offense is the second highest output of the season for the Irish and the most given up by Pittsburgh this year. It was a game of big plays, none bigger than Everett Golson's 45-yard pass to DeVaris Daniels that set up Notre Dame's tying touchdown. That play is this week's UND.com Inside Angle of the Week.
That last play, you know, they asked us what we wanted, and we said quarterback sneak. We knew Everett could get in there, and there's no, you know, we got stuffed on a run play earlier in the game, so we said, you know, why not just try to stick it in there.
I felt that I got in, you know, and I just heard the crowd, you know, cheering and stuff like that, so it was a great feeling.
It was only fitting that Everett Golson scored the winning touchdown in the Pitt game. Golson accounted for 73% of Notre Dame's offense in the fourth quarter and 3 overtimes. Even though he was taken out of the game in the second quarter, his teammates never doubted Everett's ability to lead them to victory.
He was able to, you know, at first maybe be a little flustered, come out the game, come back in the game, and hold his poise, make the plays that he needed to make the right checks, call the right plays, and really just kind of make this his game.
I mean, he's growing up on the scene, and I think everyone saw that today, especially him being taken out quite early in the game and then coming back and just being completely awesome.
The whole year we were 100% confident in him, and he can make so many plays when we give him time, and you know, our receivers are great at getting open, so as long as we give him time, he can make plays with his legs and get the ball downfield.
To win a game like Saturday's, a team has to be mentally tough and have a belief and trust in their teammates. This year's Notre Dame team has all of those qualities.
It's never over till it's over, you know, and so things aren't looking so good earlier in the fourth quarter, but our guys battled.
We all believed in each other. We knew we had another turn of getting the ball, so what can I say? I mean, it's a great group of guys, so we love each other and we play for each other.
The character of the guys that we have here and the way we fight to finish games is what's really taking us to that next level.
We love seeing you at Bank of America.
But we know you want to be able to bank wherever you are.
Bank of America Mobile Banking lets you bank on your schedule.
Now you can securely deposit checks you get right away with your smartphone camera. Watch this.
It doesn't get more convenient than that. See? Success.
It's amazing. Check balances, pay bills.
And much, much more.
Right here.
Bank on your schedule and deposit checks on the go. Download the Bank of America mobile banking app today.
I need to get back to work.
3, 2, 1. It's hard to call it radio when it's this out of the box.
Listen to that! Man, you know just what to say.
You might be a redneck.
Fox News alert on several dramatic new developments.
Frank Sinatra.
You're a delightful audience. Let's go to Margaritaville, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown!
This is satellite radio. Welcome to Sirius XM.
Notre Dame has recorded some big wins over Pittsburgh since the series began back in 1909, but no win over the Panthers was bigger than Notre Dame's upset of then top-ranked Pittsburgh back in 1982. Irish All-American Alan Pinkett takes us back to that game on this week's 125 Years of Notre Dame Football Moment.
Notre Dame is number one. Notre Dame with a miracle win as a He's going in. Notre Dame has scored.
Pittsburgh was loaded. Ranked number one in the country. Danny Marino was a quarterback. I remember they had some of the biggest offensive linemen. I didn't start that game. Phil Carter was the starting running back. He was also the captain. And I remember being on the sidelines, watching plays take place. And I was saying to myself, this isn't the Pitt Panthers. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, these guys were huge. And then I saw them, one guy, take Phil Carter and throw him down on the ground so hard, he bounced up off of it. So when I had my opportunity to go in, I was literally running scared. I did not want to get body slammed like I saw Phil get body slammed. I didn't want those guys touching me. So I had an extra gear for that particular game. There was this one play that we ran. It was a little sprint draw. And I remember running it. I start out to the right a little bit, and shuffle my feet. Quarterback brings the ball to me. And then I find the hole, and I run to my left a little bit. And then I stopped. And what I saw was a crease where two defensive backs were trying to converge on me. And so I'm saying, okay, I just need to get to that spot as fast as I possibly can. And so I put my head down and I ran. And sure enough, I beat him through, just like you see on the movies when, you try to avoid a collision. And these two guys that tried to tackle me, they ran right into each other. And so I was able to split those two defenders, and I couldn't believe it. I was out in the open field. Well, next thing you know, I kept looking around, is anybody close to me? The only person I could see was Mike Haywood, who was trailing behind me. He was a receiver, and he was able to get one more block. And next thing you know, that end zone couldn't get to me fast enough. When you're running and you can see the goalpost, it's like, it seems like it's stretching away from you, not getting closer to you. But I finally got there, and I was greeted by the rest of my teammates. And I think that was the play that really broke the back of the Pittsburgh Panthers.
Blair, the give is to Pinkett. Pinkett has a little bit of running room, cuts it upfield, big hole. And he's still on his feet, and Alan Pinkett will score a touchdown. "76-yard touchdown run by the freshman out of Fairfax, Virginia."
Unranked Notre Dame upset Pitt that day, 31-16, and Pinkett led all rushers in the game with 112 yards on 10 carries. For more 125 years of Notre Dame football moments, just log on to UND.com and click on the 125 years logo. Outside linebacker Danny Spond overcame a debilitating migraine headache in training camp to become a key member of this year's Irish defense, earning him a shot at our weekly 60-second drill. Player on the team most like you?
Dan Fox.
Favorite musical group or artist?
Jason Aldean.
Do you have a celebrity crush?
Sophia Bush.
Favorite class?
American voting.
Favorite breakfast meal?
Ham, egg, and cheese sandwich.
Best nickname on the team and who has it?
Mine, Spondy.
Best player to room with on the road?
Joe Schmidt, real quiet.
One thing you always hear from Coach Kelly at practice?
Count on me.
Toughest player to block on the team?
Ben Turk.
Toughest player to tackle on the team?
Ben Turk.
Best singer on the team?
Ben Turk.
Best dancer on the team?
Stockton.
Best comedian on the team?
Stockton.
Best comedian on the coaching staff?
Coach Denbrock.
Best dresser on the team?
Me.
Worst dresser on the team?
Stockton.
Best thing about playing for Notre Dame?
Dream come true.
Andy Spahn, you've completed 60 seconds in Inside Notre Dame Football. Thank you.
Thank you.
Customer Aaron Swenson bought from us online today, so I'm happy.
Sales go up, I'm happy.
It went out today, I'm happy.
What if she's not at home?
She won't be happy.
Use UPS. She can get a text alert, reroute, even reschedule a package. It's UPS My Choice.
You happy?
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
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 I love logistics.
I definitely feel like there's a family feeling.
They all know my name.
You're working with somebody who has your best interest at heart.
Pretty much like a brother and sister would take care of their siblings.
You go down to the same branch, you see the same people, you get to know people.
They're just more human.
People are looking to take care of you and not just use you.
I don't know that a bank would have gone to bat for us.
I'm one of their first customers ever, and I'm one of the happiest.
I'm a member.
Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. Come home.
I feel very safe with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
It's time now for this week's Ask Coach Kelly question presented by CBTS. This week's question comes from Timmy Spokes of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Timmy asks, Coach, what has been the key to the defense giving up so few touchdowns in the red zone this season?
Well, I think we do a good job with our bracket coverage. I think we do a good job of mixing up man pressures. We get tackles for a loss, which takes people out of some of their play calling situations in the short field. But I think it's a combination of being very disciplined with some coverages and some pressures that have proved to be very successful.
If you would like to send in a question for Coach Kelly, just log on to UND.com and click on Ask Coach Kelly in the rotating boxes in the middle of the main page. Next up for the Irish, a trip to Chestnut Hill for a Saturday night meeting with the Eagles of Boston College. Notre Dame has won the last 3 meetings, but the Eagles won the previous 6. Coach Kelly knows his team will need to play well against a fired-up BC team.
If you can't play your very best, then you're going to struggle. And this team knows that they're going to have to play against Boston College on national TV. It's a primetime game. They were beating Notre Dame a few years back. So this is a team that knows how to, get it done. They play Florida State. They play in the ACC. They got good football players. Obviously, things haven't gone their way all year. But when they play Notre Dame, they're going to play their best.
Game time Saturday night is 8 o'clock, and we, of course, will have all the highlights and Coach Kelly's analysis on the next edition of Inside Notre Dame Football. Until then, thanks for watching, and as always, go Irish. Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly has been brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Adidas, Gatorade, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Sprint, and Xerox. Inside Notre Dame Football is also sponsored by Bank of America, CBTS, Xfinity from Comcast, Mazda, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.